Thank you very much for joining me. So we'll just get straight into it. Let's go straight in. This is a very mysterious story and case of Noah Donohoe or Donohue, and an initial date of January the 18th, 2021 for the full inquest into the death of Noah Donohoe or Donohue has been postponed. Speaking to the coroner's court on Monday morning, it was agreed that this date would be used as a fourth review, with the full inquest to take place at a later stage. So before we get into this, I will be showing a lot of details into this disappearance and a very mysterious case indeed. And I just want to make a few things clear before we go into it. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I have to say a few things here. That Fiona, Noah's mother, is going through absolute hell, complete hell. And the reason why I know that is that I'm not here for a extra sob story. I'm sorry if it sounds that way. I don't mean to put you on a downer, but my father was murdered during the Troubles here. A very violent conflict that occurred here, and many people died, a lot of innocent people, and I know the pain and the suffering that comes with this burden of having very little answers and lots of questions. And this is why the thinker Dante, the thinker statue outside the gates of hell, because this is where I found myself on many occasions, and still do find myself outside the gates of hell, and you feel alone, naked, exposed, and your own mind is destroying you, and you want answers. But just like in the story, if you're not familiar with the story, Dante, he survives hell through faith and through a guide. And this is the gates of hell. And you can see the thinker. So that's why the thinker. If you're a thinker, let's think about this and come up with some sort of help, and I hope that this video is going to supply some sort of help, because it is a horrible thing to experience, to go through this. Obviously, this case is very mysterious, a very mysterious case, and I have step by step where Noah has been spotted on CCTV. So, and if Noah was murdered, as some people believe, and I do not believe that, I don't believe he was murdered, and the reason why is that this is what the police released. This is the only photo that has been released by the police of Noah, and Noah would have been being pursued by people. And what we're going to see in this experience now, I really hope that none of the Noah family is I really hope that none of those are going through a really hard time at the moment with this case being stopped. But I've got step by step from where he was spotted on CCTV, and this Tesco here spotted him on CCTV on his bike, and we're going to go step by step in this video, and I'm actually going to drive to these locations. As you can probably tell, my accent is I'm from Belfast, so this is the way Noah should be remembered. We shouldn't remember him as somebody who died in those circumstances, just like my father. When I think of my father, I don't think of him being murdered. I think of him as a happy individual who loved life and loved everyone. So I'll try to give some answers and what I actually believe, and what I believe might surprise you in many different ways, but I would like to know what you feel and what you think. So and so let's get into the story. So Noah was 14 years of age and he went missing from South Belfast. And then 6 days later, his body was found in a storm drain complex in North Belfast. And I'm going to show you these locations and see this entire road. He was spotted on CCTV on all this entire journey. He was spotted on CCTV most of his journey, and he was even spotted by drivers, other cars with dash cam. They have came forward. So the Donohoe or Donohoe family, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm really sorry. The Donohoe family have been represented by Nell Murphy from the KRW Law as they seek further answers to outstanding questions surrounding Noah's disappearance and death. A full inquest will take place in 2021, however, the timing of this commencement is unknown at this stage. And I will do updates with this case. If there's anything that comes up, I will upload it, because I do feel his spirit is somewhat speaking to me, or I'm picking up on some sort of frequency. I don't know, but I have really looked into this case, and let's just continue. So, and another thing I will get out of the way really quick is that, see the last place where he was spotted alive? The last place he was spotted, just to go really quick, these are all the locations. This is how far he travelled, and that's quite far across the city. And we're going to go step by step, and as I say, I'm going to drive here. So he went in between number 91 and 89. As far as I believe, and I will recap on the story and just make sure that he is. But I believe that he was spotted by number 80 or number 87 on the camera, naked, getting off his bike and going in between these houses. So he's not spotted being chased. And the girl that spotted him, she phoned her husband to say that a boy drove down her street naked, and he's spotted at another house taking his clothes off, and there's no one chasing him. So, and another vital piece of information, another absolute crucial bit of information, is this place here. Bingo. The Grove Wellbeing Centre. See the Grove Wellbeing Centre? They have over 30 cameras around this complex, and they captured on CCTV Noah falling off his bike right here, around this location here. So let's get back to the initial story, but let's get back to where he was first spotted. God bless the boy. God bless him. And I do not believe it was self-harm either, because he seemed like a fighter, that he was willing to fight. Like if he was depressed, just like us, me and you who's listening, if you have any sort of depression, and trust me, you're a fighter if you're still continuing. And it does depress me too, but we're being made, and as this fire burns down here, the strongest metal is cast and forged in the hottest fire. So I believe that is happening to us. So back to the story. Yep, Tesco. Apologies if I'm going on tangents, but I'm just going to do this clean, no edits. So what is an inquest? You're probably thinking, I know it sounds like a stupid question, but what is an inquest? An inquest into an inquiry into the circumstances surrounding a death. So an inquest is just a full inquiry into the circumstances. The NI Direct, which is Northern Ireland, and I can't make a separate video into what the hell this is all about, what's Northern Ireland and South. So NI Direct says that the purpose of the inquest is to find out who the deceased person was and how, when and where they died, and to provide the details needed for the death to be registered. It is not a trial. So it is not for the coroner to decide or appear to decide any question of criminal or civil liability, or to apportion guilt or attribute blame. NI Direct states. The NI Direct states that. So a date for the inquest will be arranged when a coroner's investigation is complete. Inquests are open to the public and the media. So this is what we're doing here, and I am not speculating here, because speculation is without any evidence, and I'm going to show you a lot of evidence. So coroners decide who should take part to give evidence as witnesses at an inquest. Witnesses will first be questioned by a coroner, so the witnesses will be first questioned by a coroner, and there may be further questioning by properly interested people or their legal representatives. Maybe further questions by properly interested people. Okay. I don't fully understand that legal term. Properly interested. I don't know. But if you know anything about this legal talk, please, and if you feel that I'm out of line, if you feel that I'm out of line, if you don't know, this fire is the fire of truth, so you can say anything. Say anything you want. Say that I have no face, or sound like a moron. But sure, you can say anything. But thank you very much for listening. So continue on here. The findings of an inquest will record the essential facts about how the person died. Police file almost complete. This is the beginning of a chapter. So during the third preliminary hearing into the death, so before the hearing into the death of Noah Donohoe on Monday, Barrister Declan Quinn said footage surrounding the teenager's disappearance had been reviewed and the police file was almost complete. So you can tell by his language here that the police more or less, through their observation on CCTV, that um, this is nearly done. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, and it should be released after the Noah family has seen it, because they deserve to know immediately. So Mr. Quinn added, back to the reading here, Mr. Quinn added that we received a number of handwritten statements and materials. There are also a number of evidential lines of inquiry which appear to arise from material we have received to date. So what does that mean? There's also a number of evidential lines of inquiry. Okay, so these are other evidence that are bringing more inquiries. Right, okay. He added, the police are investigating health and safety issues that may arise in this inquest. The police are investigating health and safety issues. I wonder what those are. Can you please shed more information on that, please? The Police Service of Northern Ireland, the PSNI, have been actively engaging with the Department of Infrastructure. Now this is where the family are probably scratching their heads thinking, but this has probably got to do with the drain. I'm sure it's got something to do with the drain, but let's continue on with the story. So at a previous sitting of the inquest on August the 28th, Barrister Declan Quinn told the court that from CCTV exhibits obtained by the PSNI, it has established that Noah left his home on Sunday the 21st of June, 5:41, on a bicycle. He then travelled along the Armour Road at 5:42 p.m. towards the city centre. And here is the Armour Road, as you can see. And from my investigation, that the first place to hand up the CCTV was in Tesco. He was spotted at Tesco or somewhere very, very close to here. It might have actually been the surgery or the bike shop. It was one of these shops that handed this in. So in the Armour Road at 5:42 p.m. towards the city. That's the 21st of June, which is, if you know your star alignments and your moon phases, this is the summer solstice, or also known as the longest day of the year, which is a very mysterious date, especially in Ireland and in England, actually. But I'm not saying this has anything to do with the case, but I'm just saying it's something that I was a wee bit concerned about, that it is a very strange day in the Celtic calendar. So his journey was captured on CCTV. Noah's last seen, sorry, apologies, let's go back up. He then travelled along the Armour Road, the Armour. It's an Armour, I call it, but at 5:42 towards the city before cycling through Victoria Square. So he cycles up here along the Armour Road, and he's spotted in all these shops. See all these different shops? and Noah goes up here. Can you still see this lane? He goes up. So this is the end of the Armo Road, Armo Avenue, up in the Alfred Street. And this is Victoria Square. God bless Victoria too. I have a friend called Victoria. So God bless her too. Let's look down Arthur Street and then goes through Corn Market. So that's Victoria Square. So let's look at where he was spotted, how far he's travelled. There's Victoria Square here. He's travelled a good bit. Okay. Well, he spotted going through onto High Street and Royal Avenue. So High Street and Royal Avenue. High Street. Here. And then onto Royal Avenue, which is this road. Can you see that? So that's Royal Avenue. So he spotted. There's hundreds of CCTV angles, hundreds of them, and he's all alone. And it's so sad and so mysterious. So up Royal Avenue, and here's Royal Avenue continues, and now Royal Avenue ends. So Royal Avenue at 5:50. So let's look at the time here. 5:41 to 5:50. So in 9 minutes, little Noah, and he was a small boy, probably. I'm not going, from his coroner report, he was, it was like £100 or something, or £110. He cycled that far in 9 minutes. Right? So, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying that I have answers there, but I'm just saying that this definitely should be considered. So, he's going pretty fast, in my opinion. And so BL Quinn at it. So he was spotted at 5:50. His journey is captured on city CCTV. Noah is last seen carrying his bag and laptop and some books, travelling alongside the Art College near the corner of York Street and Frederick Street at 5:53. So at 5:53 he is spotted between York Street and Frederick Street. We're going to go up to this now. There's Frederick Street and Great Patrick Street. So we've seen going across here. So Noah is last seen carrying his bag containing his laptop. So he's last seen carrying his bag there. So let's go on. Subsequent CCTV footage obtained by police shows Noah travelling towards Yorkgate by which stage Noah is clearly seen no longer carrying his bag. So on CCTV now, this is not the police speculating that he didn't have his bag. This is actual observable evidence. So from here, he was spotted right at this junction here with his bag and all his belongings. And then he is spotted at Yorkgate, which is here. Here's Yorkgate. Funky monkeys and all. Yorkgate shopping centre. And there's hundreds and hundreds of cameras here. So if he was being chased by anybody, this is the perfect place to go to hide. You know, even if you have paranoid schizophrenia or like an identity disorder, you know, you lose track of who you are. There's so much people, thousands of cars go in here every day. Thousands of cars driving here. And so he obviously would have known this. So he is spotted driving past Yorkgate. From there to here, he is spotted without a bag. So Mr. Quinn says that, yep, the bag was discovered by a member of the public sometime later. And this is another thing that gets strange, but I don't think it is. I just think that it was a matter of that he lifted the wrong thing. But let's get into that. Let's not get into that. Let's stay on Noah here. Because let's not focus on petty crime and stuff like somebody trying to trade on a laptop. Because what actually happened, I'll just explain it, that an individual who was somebody who doesn't have a lot of mental health, he's got a lot of mental health problems, and this man lifted Noah's bag and he just tried to sell the laptop not knowing what was going on. Others say he should have known, but he seems like a person who just doesn't listen to the news or anything. But I just do not believe he's involved or anything. But if I found a bag and a laptop, I would probably be asking a lot of questions. I wouldn't be trying to sell it, but I just don't understand that there is a lot of people out there who find stuff and they would sell it. So, right, let's get back to the case instead of going off on a tangent. So, sometime later, CCTV footage confirmed that the individual who took the bag was a number of miles away when Noah was last seen with the bag at or about the art college. So at the time Noah was spotted here at this art, see here, this is where it is, the college, at the same time that the individual who was involved in the bag and the laptop, he was not there. Of course he could present an alibi. That is something that's very, very, very possible. But he was not there at the time, and he would have been spotted on. Do you not think that this man would have been spotted thousands of times, unless he's got a predator stealth suit? Unless these people they've got predator stealth suits. So this individual is being investigated for the offence under the Theft Act, and the police will deal with this matter separately. Mr. Quinn says that Noah was travelling along York Street, crossing Great Patrick Street and the motorway before turning left onto Bronham Street and then right onto North Queen Street and then right along North Queen Street at 5:57. So let's go back here. Here's the Great Frederick Street. So let's go back to here. Sir Quinn says that the travel along York Street, Great Patrick, and the motorway. So he crosses here. And then the motorway. What's that talking about? The motorway here. See that? Great Street and the motorway before turning left onto Bronham Street. So remember, the motorway is here. That's where Noah crossed. And this is a pretty tricky place to cross. So if he had some sort of psychotic breakdown, I don't believe he was going to be able to drive across here. Because there is traffic lights for people on a bike or people walking. So he travels along here. And can you remember that street, Bronham Street? That's here. Or Brougham. Or Bronham. Bronham. So Bronham Street. Bronham Street. And then right. Then he took a right on the North Queen Street. And this is all captured on CCTV. So he went up here, up Bronham Street, and then took a right onto Queen. North Queen Street. So he went up North Queen Street at 5:57. So let's go back to the last time. 5:50. No, 5:53. At St. Patrick Street. 5:53. And then 5:57. 4 minutes. 4 minutes later. That is fast. So up North Queen. Let's continue on with the story. I hope I'm not making this, dragging this out. I really hope I'm not. North Queen. So the court also heard that Noah's mobile phone was discovered close to the children's play park on North Queen Street by a member of the public. So let's go to that. The children's play park, North Queen Street. See, I've got all these locations marked where he dropped his phone. This is exactly where he dropped his phone. And this shop here has CCTV of this happening. And same as this place. There's a residence home there. And see all the buses that go up here? They all have cameras too. So there would have been thousands of different shots of people chasing Noah if it was true. And if you don't know this story, it gets it gets even more strange. So the court also heard, yep, Noah's phone, it was handed to the police as a part of the missing person inquiry. Excuse me. Both items are being forensically examined at present. However, a primary search has not revealed any information of assistance, but investigations are ongoing. Mr. Quinn continued at 6 p.m. Mr. Quinn continued at 6 p.m. as Noah cycled towards Grove Wellbeing Centre. He fell off his bicycle just before the junction with the Shore Road. A motorist stopped to assist, but Noah got back on his bicycle at 6 601 at 6:01. He continued along the shore road without his green coat. This item of clothing has not been recovered. Just before 6:02, Noah is seen entering Northwood Crescent at the Skegneel Avenue. Skegneel. So let's just go back there. So Noah, Mr. Quinn had said that Noah at 6 p.m. had cycled towards the Grove Wellbeing Centre. So he had dropped his phone right here at this park. So he dropped his bag, his phone, and now this is where he's seen falling. So he travels a big distance North Queen Street on the York Road, and he falls here. He's spotted here falling by the cameras in the Wellbeing Centre. He's spotted on camera, and there was multiple drivers that were here. And one thing we'll have to consider is that this fall was so big, and it might have been such a violent fall that a driver actually stopped his vehicle to help. At just before 6:02, Noah is seen in North Crescent at Skegneel. Right here, Skegneel and Northwood Crescent, which is here. Northwood Crescent. He is wearing a black cycling helmet, blue hoodie, grey shorts, and black trainers. So right here is when he spotted fully clothed, but without his bag. So if Noah was being attacked, this was the perfect chance to get help and to go into the health centre. Because there's people believing that it was a sectarian attack, and I do not believe that for 1 second. Because his body would be destroyed in some sort of fashion. So let's get back down to it here. Noah's cycling helmet was found by a member of the public between 17 and 23 Northwood Road. So Noah's cycling helmet was found between 17 and 23. And I'm going to show you that here. Some of the remaining clothes were discovered by a member of the public lying on a wall at number 63 Northwood Road. At 6:03, Noah is seen a short distance away outside number 85 Northwood without any clothes. This is just bizarre. So look at that. 6:01, 6:02, he is spotted at the Wellbeing Centre, fully clothed, and in 60 seconds he's naked. And the most important thing is here, I'm going to show you these houses between 17 and 23. See these houses? Noah's seen a short distance away outside 85 without any clothes. He is seen on CCTV to go between number 89 and 91, which leads to the area of the waste ground behind the houses. So number 89 and number 91. And it's between these two houses. here, and it's number 80. See all these houses? These all have doorbell ringers, which you can ring the door, and there's a camera, and it records. And it's such a sad, sad story that I'm actually covering this, but I deserve. Noah deserves some answers. I don't deserve. I didn't mean to say out there. I meant to say Noah deserves more, and I'm sure the police are just as confused as we are, because they have the CCTV, so they need to release this immediately. So he is seen going behind the waste grounds. Contrary to a recent television report, we do not believe that there is a significant gap in this journey, and the police have been able to confirm or clarify the timings of the footage obtained. The coroner gathering further information. This case goes on, and I really enjoy reading. I really do. Mr. Quinn told the court, I do enjoy reading paranormal stories. I'm not saying this is paranormal, but there's other stuff on the channel, so I'll just stay on topic here. Mr. Quinn told the court on Monday that a number of handwritten materials and statements in relation to Noah's case had been received. These materials will now be proceeded to the coroner's office before being shared. Mr. Quinn added that they require a statement or statements of Fiona Donohoe providing general background information of her son. And these are going to be like any injuries. Was there any type of injuries that he had? Because I do know that he played rugby. And what a great looking boy who has a spirit that still continues to live on. And just like this fire, his spirit will continue to burn on. And that's why in the Olympics we have fire at the Olympic Games, because it's a symbol of never giving up. But before we go into any more, this is something that should be really brought to your awareness and a lot of people's awareness. That did you know in Germany there is over 100,000 children missing every year? And look, in the United Kingdom there is an estimated 112,000 children reported missing every year, and in the United States an estimated 460,000 children are reported missing each year. And this is the type of cases that are very mysterious, but a thing that the police are suggesting, that when Noah had fallen, that he had suffered a head injury, and this is very, very, very possible. And what I'm going to show you here is that I have the World Boxing Commission and the Boxing Board of Officials. This is some of the articles that they read before they are qualified. And so we do need to consider that this was the 21st of June, a hot summer day, and when he fell outside the Grove Centre, that of course he was wearing a helmet. But he was wearing a skateboarding helmet, not a actual helmet for riding a bicycle. But I'm just going to read this article here from the Boxing Board of Commission. Now, I do know that this was not a fight or a bout, but it should be something that is considered, and it should be considered. There's also some evidence, I'm reading from the article here, there's also some evidence that dehydration puts you at a higher risk of concussions and other brain damage. That means fighters may be entering the ring when they get hit on the head repeatedly and possibly knocked out, more prone to serious brain injuries. Now, I do know that Noah played, and I understand he played rugby, and it should be something that we need to think about. And this is another thing that I think should be important to look at this case, because let's think about it at all different levels. And this is also the World Boxing Board of the Association of the governing body of boxing. And when is it okay to stop a bout, or when is it okay to stop a fight? Only good judgment and ring experience can answer this question. When to stop or not to stop a bout is the most difficult and critical decision a referee may make in a ring. If done too fast, the event is damaged completely. If done too slow, the boxer could become seriously hurt or die. Although there is no descriptive way to teach someone to do this, there are telltale signs that can help a referee make this his critical decision, and these are just the things that a referee looks for if somebody's hurt or has some sort of brain injury. And strong fatigue, change of colour of skin. Obviously, we don't know this, but these are things I wish that is this a result, is a head injury a result of him stripping so quickly? Lack of muscle control, dazed look, disorientation. This is one of the symptoms that will cause you to strip your clothes off. We don't know anything. You don't know clothes, you don't know where you are, you don't know anything. Nausea or vomiting, claims of strong headache or earache, pupillary changes, bad cuts, lacerations or swelling. So these are just things that I think, this isn't boxing, I'm not saying that it is, but head injuries are something that occurs in boxing quite a lot, and a head injury a knockout, people can be knocked out through the most gentlest punch. And another thing that is something that should be considered, that when dehydration reaches the point of causing hallucinations, emergency medical intervention is required. And what actually happens here is this happens through dehydration. And I'm just saying that Noah was cycling incredibly fast, very, very fast. Now, I'm only presenting the theory that the police are presenting here. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to give you my own thoughts, and we can think about that. And my own thoughts range from many different theories, but my theory is not something of murder. I don't believe there's murder or suicide. I'm not ruling that out, but I do not believe that. So let's continue on here with the story. So these are a few articles, and this here, hypnotrimania. I actually don't even know how to say it. Trimia. Hypnotrimia is a low sodium concentrate in the blood. It is generally defined as a sodium concentration of less than 135 mol, with the severe hypothermia below. Symptoms can be absent, mild symptoms, cure headache. A lot of dehydration. Drinking too much water can bring it on. And this is why I'm wondering, was he dehydrated? And this is why he went to the storm drain. This is why he went to water. But it doesn't make sense why he would go in between these two houses for water. There's many different houses, and if he was being chased, let's say he was being chased by a group of people, he would have been captured on all these different houses on the bell of him being chased. And his helmet, by the way, let's go back up here. His second helmet was found by a member of the public between 17 and 23. And he came in and took a left. He came in and took a left. And number 17 and 23 is here. Or 17 and 23. So I don't know if the helmet rolled down this hill. But what I'm going to do is this. But I'm going to drive to these locations here. So here, Noah's helmet was found. And he came down here. All these houses, they all have door ringers with the camera. And between here, I don't understand how he knew this. Now, there's a part of me thinking that is his school friends keeping information. And it's this house here. These houses that all have CCTV of him cycling down the street completely naked. It's absolutely bizarre. So his helmet was found down there. Very, 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 very strange. So let's go back to the story. Okay, Mr. Quinn added that they will require a statement, Donohoe's, yeah, as well as more specific information regarding his behaviour and demeanour in the weeks before his disappearance. That's something that is going to be very hard, I'm sure, for Fiona to pick up on, because I'll tell you this, see, when I was 13 and 14 years of age, I never told my mum about my emotions and what I felt on the inside, because I actually didn't know what anxiety was, or what bloody depression is. But for Noah to have Dr. Jordan Peterson's book is a big indicator also. Not an indicator on his mental health. I'm just saying it's definitely regarding his behaviour, because it goes to show you that this is a boy who had hope and desire. Like, if he had a book about killing animals, or he had a book on Mein Kampf. Let's say Noah had in his bag uh, the concentration camp, you know, like something very dark. You would be like, right here, something strange going on, but he didn't. He had a Dr. Jordan Peterson book, which is full of wisdom, hope, inspiration, faith. All these different things are involved in this book. So I don't take that into consideration, but I do take in that he was definitely aware of his emotions, and he was trying to clean his room. The boy was trying to clean his room, and I would believe that when Noah grew up, he would probably be the type of guy I could have a great conversation with. I would probably have a good conversation with him if I was able to speak to him now. But as it is on earth, so it is in heaven. And who Noah is on earth, he's the exact same in heaven. So do not lose faith that our family members aren't there, because they are. They're just in that other realm. And they are listening. And we can communicate. So let's get back into it. So I know from speaking to Mr. Murphy that, sorry, I'm back to the story here, speaking to Mr. Murphy, that this will be some time, and we are cognizant of that, and will afford Mr. Murphy whatever time he requires to go through that process. Requested statement is traumatic and emotional for Miss Donohoe. I absolutely do not blame her. The Donohoe family representative, Nell Murphy, said the statement is currently in progress. And what a beautiful picture. Like, you can see happiness, real happiness there. And that's the way Noah should be remembered. And we all need to come together and try and get the truth out there. And saying that Noah was murdered when there's no evidence is a wrong thing. It's wrong. Please show me evidence. And I was also chased when I was a kid. I was chased when I was a young boy multiple times by other people in my neighbourhood, and I can remember running into this wee lad's house called Eamon. I bolted into his house. I actually nearly kicked his front door in to hide. And Eamon's mum was like, "What the hell? What the hell are you doing?" And I said, "There's someone going to kill me." And it was really just a boy who was probably going to hit me a few slaps around the head. But he never managed to find me. So that's the thing that doesn't make sense. If Noah was being chased, he could have bolted into anywhere. But Noah was on his way to study for the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, and his friends live close by. And I will get into more theories, but let's continue on. Mr. Murphy. Let's continue on the story. Mr. Murphy, KRW Law, said that Mr. Corner, you will appreciate that this is the most traumatic and emotional statement for Miss Donohoe will ever attempt to compose. However, it has commenced that we collectively undertake to conclude at the earliest convenience. Noah Donohoe Foundation. Noah Donohoe is planning on setting up a foundation. Fiona Donohoe is planning to set up a foundation in the memory of her son. And I also signed a petition, by the way, and if you haven't, please sign it. I can leave it in the link in the description below. I will do that, sign the petition for the truth and stuff. It's just really to see the CCTV. I want to see it. I want to see this CCTV, but Noah's mum and all his family deserve to know first, and then the greater public, for the future safety of all our children. So let's continue on here. It is hoped that the Noah Foundation will bring inspiration to young people of a similar age group to Noah. Speaking to the court, Niall Murphy thanked the public on behalf of the Donohoe family for the support they have been shown. He added, Mr. Donohoe is entirely grateful and touched by the support that she is convinced that she has received with regards to the awful circumstances she had to confront. And touched by the support. So she was touched by uh, the support she received. It is her intention to, like, he was such a nice boy, like, it was her intent, like, I didn't see someone that was depressed here. I can't see a boy who's, of course, we can cover it up and stuff, but it is her intention to incept a Noah Donohoe Foundation, the aims and objectives of which will be publicised at a later date. It is her intention to memorialize, and to keep, sorry for reading, my reading's quite bad today, to keep in public memory, the legacy of her beautiful son Noah, and it is considered that a foundation will speak of his principles as a young person. I'm sure one of his principles was clean your room. I bet you. And that is one of the best foundations in the world. A clean your room foundation by Noah. Because one of the 12 rules of life is that you have to clean your room. That might inspire other young people of his age that a foundation will be incepted, hopefully, in the coming weeks. And that is more or less the story of that. But talking about those articles and similar stories now, I will get into my theory, into what happened. I have a different couple of theories, but I just want to stay on what the actual police are saying. What the police are saying. That the police are saying there's no foul play. And I do believe them. And the only reason why I believe them is that the amount of people that would have seen Noah being chased. Think of the amount of people. I see sometimes out in my street a couple of people walking up and down my street and stuff, and you know, you hear kids screaming, and the odd time you see a child falling and they really hurt themselves, and you're like, geez, I hope they're okay. I hope they're okay. Now imagine if I seen a child running down my street with about 30 people chasing them, or let's say 2 people chasing them, I would definitely go and investigate, and I would probably phone the police immediately. And if you have any information, you please phone the police or the non-emergency number and let them know if you have any information. But the very mysterious story of Elisa Lam, the death of Elisa Lam, is a very mysterious story, and another one that is very, very, very mysterious and dark and she also was found in water, and very similar to Noah, found in a water tank. It's so sad. Found in a water tank without any clothes on, and the toxicology reported the toxicology reports had drugs in her system, unlike Noah. There is none. And I just wanted to make this video about Noah's case and document his entire track and the most crucial bits of information. And that really is a lot of crucial bits of information. And these are just articles that I don't really think that they are solid bits of evidence here, but this is something that should be considered. That being dehydrated is much more than an inconvenience. It can be deadly. It can also lead to misdiagnosis of mental health problems. And this is something that is true. That drinking a lot of water is very, very, very important. Very important. I'm just saying that through a dehydration and then a high impact of Noah falling outside the Grove Centre, which is captured on CCTV. Was this enough? There's some evidence that dehydration puts you at a higher risk of concussions. I do believe it is possible he was under a concussion, which is very, very, very sad, because you know then that it could have been treated. But there's many houses that he could have went into. But I'll just leave that story there. Sorry, this is another thing. This is just a rabbit hole that goes on and on and on. That this other girl, Caitlin Lowder, she was found in a river and found 4.5 months later. And Caitlin from Utah was found dead in a Jordan River. That's always around water. The autopsy results for Caitlin Lowder has now been released, but the results are inconclusive and leave no closure for the family. So imagine what this family's going through. But this was because 4.5 months later, because her body was so decomposed. And please see, when I'm talking about a body, I'm not talking about Noah, because Noah's spirit, and it's just like my father too, his spirit will never die and it will never rot. So this is just a body we're speaking about, because the spirit is it cannot be harmed. So I do think that this should be considered, and same as the rugby. But Elisa Lam, very, very, very similar. And I've got Elisa Lam's Twitter here, or tweets that she was making. And I do think about a lot of paranormal, but there's sometimes that you can look into it. Now that CCTV of Elisa in the lift is bizarre, but I'll show you Elisa's mindset here. During what time do you feel your happiest? Between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. That's obviously when she's sleeping, I believe. She seemed very, very humorous, this girl Elisa. I'm trying to look at her. This was her last ever tweet. What made you smile today? Putting the last of my postcards in the mail. Putting the last of my postcards. Oh sob, these pieces of papers are going to places I dream of for only 50 cents. Isn't that crazy? Her mindset. That you can tell her thinking when she was sending these that this is very good philosophy, but it seems that she was losing a lot of hope. Do you still live with your parents? Yes, because they don't buy me like my own mansion for my 16th birthday. Dolphins or sharks? Dolphins are just gay sharks. Like, that is funny. That is funny. I'm trying to see her mindset. She says something. Uh, I'm really sorry for just flicking through these. There is a tweet that's quite... Okay. I shouldn't be looking at it. I shouldn't be looking more into this because I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Yes, this is it. Very, very, very strange. It's all about... It's very, very, very strange, but I wish that Noah... There's some part of me wishes that Noah also, like, done the same, had like a diary of some sort, and it could maybe reveal some bit of information, but I'm sorry there for getting distracted with her. With the Lisa Lamb, a very sad story indeed. Uh, Another boy, an 18-year-old, was found dead in a ravine without any clothes on. Dylan Parker. He went missing, so he called his mother. He phoned his mum. He phoned his mother and asked his mum to pick him up at a gas station, but he wasn't there when she arrived. Parker's body was found on the 21st of June on a snowy wooded ravine by two men riding all-terrain vehicles or quads down a steep hill, and they found the poor soul. They found his body, and I hope his soul's at rest. And may God grant them all in the peace, and may they be with their loved ones, and may they get answers. May all these families get answers. And I am going to look into this, so I'm going to look into this more and give more information. And if you have any bit of information, please share it. And as I said at the beginning of this, that the full inquest will take place in 2021 at a later stage, and I will let people know when. And I'm just very grateful for you listening, and God bless you, and thank you for being here, and God bless Noah. Thank you very much for listening.